called Children of Indigo really for different reasons, and it can be its own interpretation for every one of us individually, really, to be honest. But it's really that inner child that's been maintained, like that. It's what art for me, sometimes I feel like I'm 5 years old jumping on the bed again, that magical moment that people say they lose as an adult. I feel like I've felt more in love with that moment through music and art, and that's like my inner child.
What really made me want to be a part of this collective is the fact that you guys all seemed so like unconventional and not defined and not, limited to anything. And that's the way I've always approached music personally. And all these guys are producers as well. And so I was like, man, we could be a band full of producers and a band full of multi-instrumentalists, and that would just be perfect.
But for me, like, hip-hop was really what I started. That was my first love in music. I mean, I had listened to other music. I grew up on Pink Floyd, Bob Marley, but hip-hop is what got me into it as an artist. And this album became almost very trap and rap compared to a lot of our other albums. And that was just with the addition of Dago, I think, was a big part of that, because Dago is really big on the 808 trap style, and so him joining the group really influenced that. And as far as the production for the album, maybe Jay would have a better say on that, how you got.
I mean, a lot of the stuff is just kind of in the moment. It's like we'll meet and we'll literally make the song in that moment. Within like the first 30 minutes to an hour, we have like the meat of the idea, and by the end of the night, we have a song. And most of the time, if we don't finish like an idea or a song that day or that night, it usually doesn't become a song. So I would say about 90% of the songs or more that we have, they were created the day of.
Those times Jay will be sitting playing, or Mark will be playing something, or Dago, and like, oh, that sounds nice, like, should go record that right now. Or Jay will say it, or any of us will tell the other one when we hear that moment, all right, let's record it, and it just happens.
And there's been times where I've been playing whatever I'm playing, like, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm just sounds so simple and basic. And you're like, nah, just record it. And then before the end of the night's over, it's like it's a whole song that with everybody's parts added. It actually, I was like, oh, it actually sounds really good. Like I can't believe I doubted it in the first place.
The last feature was For Paranoia, and cool little backstory to that. Cam just released his book, Keep It 100, which was documenting him writing 100 verses over the length of 100 days, one every day. And the 2 verses that are on our album are actually in his book. So I forget what days they are, but fun fact, go check that book out. So right now, I'm pretty excited for a few releases that we have coming up in 2022. We have one album called The Boneyard, which is a project that it's kind of miscellaneous songs that have gathered
over time that were like leftover songs, which is why I guess we're naming it Boneyard. Yeah. It's like they're like leftover songs from albums that didn't make the cut.
Yeah. Some of them were supposed to be on Native Alien, some were supposed to be on Gum Wall. Some of the songs go back as old as our first album, Death of the Ego, and so it's kind of just a mix of all of it. And the funny thing really with a lot of the Indigo albums is there's songs that have been recorded in 2014 and songs that have been recorded in 2020 on the same album. So really, sometimes if you listen to a lot of our albums, they're not completely genre arranged, but say Native Alien has definitely more of a rock rap vibe, where that one album has more of a hip hop trappy vibe, where The World Will Do It To You has more of a slower, very acoustic-y, folky, but still electronic-esque vibe with Standroid on it. Stan, man. So really, sometimes the albums come from when there's a group of songs that have now gathered that fit the same vibe and can go together.
New music. That's what we're all about right now.
Yeah, we really took a good break ever since November to really focus on new music.
We stopped playing shows.
We completely stopped. I had to turn down some gigs that actually, in some parts of me wanted to play. It hurt my heart a little bit. At the same time, I knew the bigger mission was to get to what we're working on now, and it's been going great. And it also gave us enough time to really focus on mixing and mastering the final touches on that one album, or we wouldn't even been able to make the release date of the first. So sometimes you just have to step back. We were getting so overbooked with shows that though it's a great thing, it's a great problem to have, but at the same time it took away the point of music, which is making music. That's what it all came from. We wouldn't be doing any of this if we didn't make music. That is what it was about at the very core and essential. Everything else came because they're like, hey, I like what you're playing, we'll play on a stage, and then meet this guy, meet this person, and one thing led to another. But at the very root, it was making music. That's why we did it. So it's nice to get back to that. But it's also gonna be nice to get back to the stage coming up with those shows. We have 2 shows actually. One for sure will be playing in Denton with Character Raps on May 28th. And we're also potentially gonna be opening up for Wolves Rain on the 21st for their album release at Deep Ellum Art Company. We're also in talks right now with Cure for Paranoia and Leo Sun Project for a potential video release for one of the songs from that one album. We've been in talks with Cam about getting a video going. So no full details yet, but we have all that to look forward to, and that should be coming up.